Gentlemen, welcome back. You're back with MGTOW Money. Today's topic is going to be, well, it's straight out of the comments section once again, and thank you for the comments. By the way, of course, I do read the comments, and I do sincerely appreciate all of them. Today's topic is broke at 40. And this, of course, is a very serious situation. However, I've got some ideas for you men that might be wrestling with this. So whether you're 40 or 50 or 30 and broke with a negative net worth, we are going to move through this together, and we are going to get you through this together because you are going to survive this. Before I get to some ideas, this, of course, if you're new here, this is MGTOW 2.0. This is the second wave of MGTOW. This is all about money. This is about actionable, practical ideas that you can use on how to invest your money, how you can make money, and how maybe, just maybe, you can retire early. Let's get on to today's topic, what you're going to do. You're broke and 40. Number one, if you've got a gaping wound and it's bleeding profusely, what do you think the first thing you need to do is? You need to stop the bleeding. Whenever I have a problem, one of the first things, no matter what the problem is, one of the first things I try to think about is, what are the fundamentals? What do I need to do to stop the bleeding here? And so the very first thing that I'm going to be thinking about, if I'm in your shoes and I'm 40 and broke and I've got major financial issues, whether it be child support, alimony, credit card debt, school debt, maybe a combination of all those, the number one thing that I'm going to be thinking about is stop spending money. Let me be very specific. Unless it's money that's absolutely necessary, in other words, unless it's money that I have to pay out to keep me out of jail, to keep me out of a homeless shelter, to keep my electricity on, I'm not going to pay it. I am going to live like an immigrant. You know, I don't know any immigrants, frankly, but I have an idea of how they live, and based upon stories I've read, where you've got like 10 or 12 people literally living in a 12-foot by 12-foot room. Obviously, these people live very close to the bone. They don't spend very much money. In other words, ramen noodles, eating that for dinner might be the only thing that they have the entire day. And I'm not kidding. My point is that you have to get down to the absolute survivable basics. This means no credit card spending, of course. This is 100% cash and or debit card spending. This means spending the absolute bare minimum. I can't be any more clear than that. Number two, you're of course going to be tracking all of that spending. I've mentioned this many, many times. I can't stress it enough. The only way you're going to get your spending under control is where you know where it's going, where you have an idea of where it's going. And that means you're going to be writing down or somehow notating every single penny, every single satang, every single rupee. I don't care what currency you're using. Where is it going? Because correspondingly, you're going to be keeping an eye on it, and you're going to be constantly thinking about, how can I reduce or eliminate this particular expense? Can I substitute this for something cheaper, or can I eliminate it completely? No, gentlemen, you don't need cable television. That's not a need. No, gentlemen, guess what? You don't need a cell phone. I don't know about you, but 20 years ago, I didn't have a cell phone, and I managed to survive. And I don't remember hardly anybody having a cell phone then. The point is, you're going to have to be very, very, very aggressive and get your spending down to the absolute bare minimum. Now, speaking of being aggressive, you're going to have to be aggressive with getting your income up. In other words, increasing your income. So whether that means changing jobs within your company, begging for a raise, literally if it comes down to it, moving to another location if necessary. The point is, you're going to have to start taking action to increase your income. I understand some of you might have child obligations, etc. Well, I can't move. No, you can move. Don't decide that you're in a box. which is going to be worse for you and your family, being stuck where you are, making some minimal amount of money, or moving somewhere else, maybe 1,000 kilometers, 600 miles away, and potentially significantly increasing your income. In my opinion, in the long run, it's going to be better for all parties concerned, increasing your income. Furthermore, you're going to be looking at new ways to increase your income, even if it's small and simple and easy ways. $100 here, $150 here, $37.50 there. Whatever it takes, gentlemen, that's what you're going to be doing to increase your income. I did an entire video, one of the lowest viewed videos, specifically on some really simple ways that you can increase your income. Yeah, it's a little bit of stuff. It's only a couple $100 here and there. You're not going to be able to do it every day. But you know what? When you're down this far, gentlemen, and I have been there. I was in a black hole of debt. You're going to have to do things differently. And that means you're going to have to start pursuing those things. Maybe I've got to start shoveling snow for neighbors for $20 or $30. Maybe I need to start cutting grass. I don't know. The point is that you're going to be doing anything and everything to get money. I can't be any more specific than that. Taking it a step further, I'm going to be looking for a part-time job. In other words, I presume you've got a full-time job. I'm going to be looking for a part-time job. Evenings, weekends, whatever it takes, gentlemen, I'm going to be doing it. That would be my game plan. I'm going to be doing literally whatever is necessary at this particular time in my life to increase my income. Next step, automatic savings. I can't emphasize this enough. After you've got all your debts paid, and I'm talking about consumer debt specifically, credit card debt, car loan debt, and any type of debt that you have, assuming that's paid, this is how you're going to proceed, is with automatic savings. You've got to get into some sort of mechanism where money is automatically being diverted from you, where you're not even seeing it. It will make it much easier for you in the long run if you don't even see the money, and hopefully you can't even access it, or it's difficult to access for you. So it'll continue to pile up and possibly even hopefully compound in terms of the interest that you're earning on the money. Next, track your progress. In other words, track your net worth. Look at yourself in the mirror. Keep a spreadsheet or something and feel good that you're moving forward. Even if you're only up an extra $1 or $2 a day. Hey, look, I just reduced my debt by an additional $5. Or my net worth just increased $12.87. Feel good. Pat yourself on the back. Build that momentum. Don't give up. You can do this. I'm speaking as a man who was there. I can't emphasize enough. You can pull yourself out of this. You can do this. Next, you need to start thinking long term of a low budget, what I term a low budget minimalist retirement plan. If you're in your 40s, obviously, at some point, presumably, you're going to retire. And I presume you don't want to be working until you're 70. So that being the case, if you can shoot for your early 60s, for example, you would be doing really, really well. So when I'm thinking about a minimalist retirement plan, I'm thinking about things like maybe I live on a houseboat. Maybe I have an RV that I live in. Maybe I move to a low cost rural part of my country. Or maybe I even think about, God forbid, as I've discussed many other times, moving overseas. There are many developing countries that you can move overseas to and live very happily on a relatively small amount of money. These are just ideas. Obviously, it's going to be unique to each and every one of you, but the point being is that you need to start thinking about these things and letting them gestate in your mind and start exploring these possibilities. I would encourage you, try going on vacation or even just weekend trips. And I understand that sort of contradicts the idea of spending money, but as you're building these things up slowly, you can do that, or even just do research on the internet about different places. So real quick, let's review here what we've decided so far. Only necessary spending is what you should be doing. You're going to be tracking every single bit of that spending because you're going to be looking for areas to cut. Third point, you, of course, are going to be aggressively increasing your income, doing whatever's necessary. If you got to sell plasma, gentlemen, you do it. You do whatever's necessary to increase your income. Number 4, you're going to set up that automatic savings that we've talked about, whether that be some sort of 401k, whether that be something that you can do with your bank. You can do this. They've got all types of mechanisms now for automatic savings. Number 5, of course, you're going to be tracking your progress. You're going to feel good, even if it's only minimal glacial progress. It's so slow, but you can get through this. The momentum will build. I can promise you. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from the experience of many, many others. You can do this. Track your progress. Feel good. Lastly, of course, you're going to consider a minimalist, low-budget retirement plan. Just start playing with ideas. Start talking to people. Start reading books on this. Start searching the internet. There's 1,000 different ways to retire. You don't have to be working till you're 70 until you're dead unless you want to. You can get out of this box if you choose to. As always, gentlemen, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate the comments and the feedback from all of you. We, of course, are building an international MGTOW army of financially independent men. And because we're moving this forward, I need your help. I need you to post this video in forums. I need you to share it with friends. I need you to hit the like button if you found it useful. And more importantly, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. John Galt, out.